Is that Nixon there on the left? When was the last time Nixon was on the front page of the Times?
Well, that was one of the ones I wanted to ask you about.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's Nixon on the Times.
Not his best picture.
Did you? No. Well, it's okay.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Did you see about this? This is actually being serious. I was going to say it's not a joke. It is the front page of the New York Times, so obviously it's not a joke.
Is this in the
on
the comedy
tape
section?
On tape, Nixon says penalties didn't fit crime for marijuana. He kind of was a war on drugs guy, but you know how he had the Oval Office there recording everything, which come back to bite him on some of the Watergate stuff. Yeah. Well, they've just recently scoured through every last bit of the tapes, and there are these moments where he's just really, he says, like, worried. Like the one instance, there was somebody with the marijuana possession that went to jail for, I think, 30 years. And he was like, oh, my gosh, we can't let America become where the penalty is so excessive to the crime. Yeah. That's like some other places we won't name. But that he had a lot more.
Virginia is that way. You ever get a speeding ticket there? Continue on.
They do make you come back.
I know they do.
Sometimes.
Yeah, well,
probably the way you drive.
Okay. Well, I'll say this. In light of what you just said, Impact folks, they met me at the door this morning and said that they were now required to let us know. They've been recording us the whole time we're in here.
Oh, boy.
Much like, just like Nixon. And I said, where's the tapes? That was what I asked. And so we're looking into that. Was there anything that you could think of off camera you wouldn't want recorded in here?
Everything. It's hard to tell what I've said.
I didn't sign a waiver is what I told Garrett. So we'll continue on with that investigation.
But if we ever make you guys mad, don't do that.
Us.
Like
don't do that to us.
It's not cool.
No.
All right. Sam, Hunter, pass that on.
Yeah.
Spencer. Why don't you give everybody a lay of the land of who all's in here?
Right now?
Wow. Well, unless you want me to make a formal apology first, or you could go ahead and do intros.
Okay. So right now we have in studio, which is great to be back in studio. We have Jeff Stevens over here to my left, the viewer's right.
That's me.
Welcome in,
Woo.
Jeff.
Thank you.
Round of applause.
Yeah, I'm Aaron. I've been on the podcast before, but to my immediate.
Hey.
That might have been louder.
All right, buddy.
Stop it. Enough. And then over to
do that move. Yeah. Oh, come on.
Over to my immediate right, a local sensation, a phenom, in the local news media.
He is.
I can't catch the morning or evening news without seeing a glimpse of this guy.
Man.
My friend, Cameron Jarvis. Welcome in, man.
Pleasure. Hell of an introduction. Thank you.
Now, we have some surprises in studio audience, but I'm saving that for later. I'm not doing introductions to the audience just yet.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Okay.
I might spoil it and give it away on accident. I'll try.
If you do, I'm throwing you out of here.
Well, Cameron's my son.
Okay.
I am.
For those who haven't met him.
Pleasure to meet you all.
I'm very proud of you. And there's a lot of great things that you are accomplishing in your life. I want to talk a little bit about it.
Oh, boy.
In addition to the summer internship that he did at Village Caregiving.
Yeah.
My greatest achievement.
Really? You would rank that at the very...
It's number one. Well, actually, it's number two behind finding my wonderful girlfriend and convincing her that I am worthy enough of her love.
Do you think that she might watch this?
That clearly he
Whoa,
believes
no,
this is going to happen.
I say that all the time.
I've never heard him say this.
Well, then you have not listened to me once.
All right, remember that alliance we're talking about?
Me and you now.
We get ganged up on later.
You and I.
He just went in first on you. Remember that.
It's important that viewers know that my wife Danielle is slated to be a guest on an upcoming podcast. So I'm just getting all this out of the way now for the punishment I'm going to take later. But
that's right. No, Brooke, your girlfriend. She's like a part of our family. Are you kidding me? She's over at Easter this year, I remember, when Cameron was out of town.
Oh
no,
we love her.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure she's a part of group threads that I'm nowhere near as well. So it's, I'm pretty sure she's the favorite. It's okay. I can handle it.
Take all our vacations together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means I picked well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And Brooke's amazing, too.
She's
just for a second. She's on the dance team at Marshall.
Yeah.
Pre-med.
Yep, early assurance. Doesn't even have to take the MCAT. She's so smart. So.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
She's impressive.
I think you should say more nice things about her.
I think I should.
Yeah.
I think the list is so long that we'd be here all day.
I could see how being VCG summer intern falls second on that list.
Absolutely.
Now that you've said these things. Brooke, I apologize.
Yeah. Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, you're
I
welcome.
appreciate
Absolutely.
that. I'll accept it on her behalf.
Okay. So Cameron was on campus a lot this summer. I mean, we saw this guy twice. I went to the bathroom, and he was in there. Lock the door is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was my bad.
No. So you spent the summer at Village Caregiving. I tell people I have a unique story with Village Caregiving because I came about in a way basically as a customer, right? Mm-hmm. Your way of coming to Village Caregiving may be the most unique of all that's ever come to Village Caregiving.
It's certainly up there.
Child labor, if you will.
Whoa.
Well, no, we can say it.
Whoa.
It was an internship. Was it even paid? Would you like $100 a week? I think you got a little something
like
for your
that.
time.
It was paid.
I'm talking about back in the day, long before Cameron finished high school. Cameron was around Village Caregiving. I've seen him at stuff.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Actually, he had to help me, at home in the basement.
Yeah.
Trying to run payroll or.
Yeah. Well, at that time though, I was an employee as well.
That's true.
In fact,
you just didn't get paid.
No, $10 an hour.
Oh, you got $10 an hour?
Yeah, no.
Look at that.
Yeah, if you go into, whatever, ADP, I'm one of the longest tenured employees we have here.
And at this time, if we did break any child labor laws.
We did not.
We'll edit that out. I don't think so.
We were very careful.
Very careful.
All right, when we say things like we were very careful, that tells me that we're...
I think there's some exceptions,
16.
aren't there, for having your own child in your family business?
We can sort this out.
No, Nixon was on tape about that for something. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, well, don't worry. It won't show up in the Times for at least 50 years after you're out of office.
Okay, keep going.
So you were on campus. Yeah, no. Continue on. Some of your best work is done.
Thanks for coming down. I'll be over here.
Hey, understand.
So
some pressing stuff in that.
You spent the summer at Village Caregiving. You gave an awesome presentation during one of our campus-wide executive meetings. I mean, it's a very memorable. A lot of people don't remember a PowerPoint, and that's on them. Some of the best information I've ever received was via PowerPoint. All right,
okay.
and you delivered some real insight on your PowerPoint, and that was your experience through the lens of Village Caregiving as the summer intern, right?
Some of the best information I've ever received
on a PowerPoint.
was on a PowerPoint. Okay, good.
So that means like prior to 2000, it was just nothing.
Yeah.
You didn't get anything. I received very No, you were basically just a cardboard box. Floating.
No, I received
it was the Bible and fortune cookies.
Yeah,
just
and
anywhere
C-SPAN.
you could. Right,
C-SPAN.
Well,
C-SPAN gave me some good information.
But now he's got PowerPoint,
and he's changed.
Yeah, and you happen to communicate in my language.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel great right now. He keeps hyping me up, and then he'll throw a shot. It's very balancing. I like
He's already caught on.
Yeah, I don't like that you cracked the code so early.
Well,
so you spent the summer here.
I
You
did.
talked your story through the executive meeting about your experience here at Village Caregiving. What was your summer like? Just kind of give us a summary.
Well, it was amazing. I was thrown into so many different roles. I got a shadow at the corporate office, obviously, and different departments. I was heavily involved in compliance at the get-go, and then I got to hang out in the operations team and see how the morning huddles go. I got to sit in with different RVPs and get a sense of what their day-to-day is, and got to have a chance to even reach out to directors and spend some time in the Ashland office, sit in on some Teams meetings and learn and get to talk to some of our wonderful executive directors and director of operations all across VCG, which was awesome.
Yeah. Well, cool. So it was a good summer.
Fantastic summer.
And in your spare time, I think you did a little golfing. Is that right?
Occasionally, I would say. Yeah.
Anything memorable happened there?
Oh, I mean, depends on who you ask.
What year are we even talking about?
Fair enough.
The year that we're in. You had the summer in. I was leading to him being on the local news, Jeff.
That happens all the time to this guy.
Yeah, but usually it's for minor court offenses. This time it was something special.
I did get pulled over this summer.
What?
Yeah.
Cameron.
It was for a dead tag, too.
Cameron.
The worst of the worst.
That's kind of like, Dad's fault.
No, I don't want to throw it on you.
No,
I mean,
let
I
him-
should
let him
probably
wear
should have
this.
looked at it.
Let him
I mean, it
wear
is
it.
my vehicle.
Come on, Jeff. Do better.
Okay.
You know,
Wow.
yeah, Cameron said it right.
Whoa,
That's what
whoa.
Cameron said.
No,
Yeah, before you got in here, he said he's got to do better.
did not.
I don't believe it.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
right.
well, I was talking about the year before.
Okay.
Cameron won the West Virginia Amateur, youngest golfer in 104 years, I think, to win the West Virginia Am. Big deal.
It's a huge deal.
You're talking about this summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
This summer, yeah. I mean, I just practiced real hard.
Okay. And did you get better?
1% every day.
Hit me
you
with
know.
this. Are you saying that practice makes perfect?
No,
Okay,
absolutely
okay, I
not.
wasn't-
Perfection is
It's
non-existent.
elusive.
I would say it doesn't exist.
Does practice make perfect?
And I wouldn't want it to
I
exist.
had a lot of thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Let's not get.
We
all
can
into
go
that.
in. I mean,
A practice makes permanent.
Okay.
It can make
I agree.
your repetition bad if you're not careful. Practice shooting a
Absolutely.
foul shot the wrong way 500,000 times. You're going to be pretty good at shooting it wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect practice makes perfect. You can't ever be perfect, but that's where your mindset goes.
Where do you think that saying originated?
Michael Jordan? I don't know.
Yeah, that's well beyond my pay grade.
Where?
Do you think you did it?
No. Mm-mm.
Or did you
No.
learn this in a PowerPoint and you're waiting to throw
I think
it
it
out?
was like hanging on a board in like my 4th grade English class.
So is her or
Yeah.
him.
Hit me with this one. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
All right. I remember 7th grade Miss Seeley's
Fair enough.
class. That was hanging above her bulletin board, and I kept reading, and I'm like, knowledge makes power. And there was a picture of Lincoln on there, which I don't think was his quote, but I think he was just.
Did that incentivize you to learn?
Well, I'll be honest. It was well into my adult years when I actually think I comprehended what that meant. Like that through the availability of knowledge, the influence that has is really unbelievable.
I got a take on that saying.
I got to take a drink before I hear this.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
Knowledge is power. I don't buy it.
Wow. Quick.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the most powerful people alive right now on Earth are the most knowledgeable ones, smartest ones? I don't.
I wouldn't say that.
I'm damn near certain they're not. As a matter of fact, those guys work at like MIT and NASA and stuff.
Wow.
Are you?
Sometimes power is because you just, you're a more eloquent speaker, or you were born into the right family. It could be lots of different things that come about. Knowledge is nice. Not is power. That's taking it too far.
Interesting.
Ooh.
I would really argue about that. I think you're looking at it from their intellectual ability or their education.
Right?
Yeah, I think it was just the way I perceive that statement is it's more of being in the know, to have knowledge of something. You can yield tremendous influence and power just by having knowledge of it. If you know nothing about AI, right, you're not going to be in the driver's seat. The people that are very influential in the AI debate right now are people that was there early and has a very strong knowledge base of that very specific thing, while the mass population has no knowledge base of it. Think of crypto, think of nearly anything that swings through.
He's turning it around. That's,
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
this is
bouncing.
you
basically-
at least got me thinking about
This
it.
is
Like,
basically the quote that I've lived by.
Oh.
Well,
I was joking.
knowledge is not power. It's just ridiculous.
As De Niro said, I got to rethink this thing. I got to rethink it. I'll
Really
rethink
good.
it. Sorry.
All right, so we got one that Jeff feels good about, one he doesn't feel great about. Do you have one? Anything that hung in your classroom as a child?
We still haven't figured out what happened this summer.
Yeah, we've moved away from
All this is
Practiced
everything
really
that I
hard,
did.
and then we just went down rabbit holes
Wow.
of trite
Oof.
sayings.
This is a first for this podcast.
My Lord.
Stay on topic.
I am.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even know what you're asking me anymore.
Yeah. So anything happened this summer, golf related, that you'd like to talk about?
Sure. I mean, I had the opportunity to play in some great tournaments and
Okay.
played well in a few of them.
Yeah. Any of them that you played the best at?
Yeah, I won a couple.
A couple of them.
Yeah.
First, let's talk about, because you're a modest guy. I know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
He won the first tournament of the college season, Marshall's tournament, and the team won too.
We did. Yeah.
It was
we
a
had
great
showing.
start to the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume that's what you saw him on the news for, in addition to the criminal offenses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Probably
I didn't-
criminal offenses. And
In my head, though, that would have been end of season because it was fall. I'm not a golfer, so
No,
I
that's
thought
our
you were,
beginning.
Like, wrapping
no,
up
we
for
pick
the
it
year.
up. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
all right. So you're off to a hot start.
That's what the article said.
Okay, and then so what happens next? Where do you go next?
We travel all around. All around's a bit of a stretch. Our fall was mainly condensed to the eastern side of Ohio, and maybe a little bit of North Carolina.
It's beautiful this time of year, though. I mean, some of the best lands you're going to see. Continue.
Sure.
Well, you end up all around. I know
we do. We go
Georgia, Arizona,
South Carolina, Arizona, Alabama this year, Mississippi. We do visit the Sun Belt and then Arizona. So it's been great. It's a great start. Our team is amazingly talented this year. We have a wonderful core of guys that are just a bunch of studs, to be honest with you. So. I had a great week and
great team.
Yeah, we do, and we should
love your coach too. Coach Groves, awesome.
He's the
guy.
Best. He's so supportive and does a great job about making sure we get the best out of each other as well as ourselves. So it was a great start, and now we just have to keep grinding. I mean, that's the only thing you can do. You can't take
Sun Belt Player of the Week.
Player of the Week,
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
come on. How about that? We're going to embarrass you a little bit.
Yeah,
I know.
absolutely.
No, that's fair.
You're humble about it, though. I appreciate that. You've always been like that.
Yeah, I'm that same way.
Sure.
Cameron, let me ask you this. Does a golf coach give the same type of inspirational speeches that other sports coaches are notorious for?
Probably better.
Really?
You just don't get the cameras in the locker room.
That's what I was curious about. How would the Phil Jackson of the golf world ever be quoted, do you think, if the cameras are never there to capture it? Or does he have to whisper
it lingers on in his players.
It lives in the memories of the players.
Yeah, absolutely. And then eventually, nice? It comes out.
Really?
In a book, perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe a guy goes to the media, if and when there is media.
Yeah.
And says, hey, I heard the best thing ever from
knowledge is power or something like that. Probably something similar to that, you would think.
Probably not.
Okay.
Serious question, though, and I'm not talking specifically about your current coach, but just golf coaches in general. Do they give you a lot of, swing thoughts, or is it more like, I don't want to even, put too much in your mind when you're standing over the ball? Both?
I'm gonna take a very concise answer to this and say that the best coaches give you the power to create your own swing thoughts or to create your own ability to be great.
Right.
Now, they can obviously go in and fool around with the technical part of golf, but I think what they do is put you in a box and let you live there and then learn how to get out of that. So, they give you the tools to be great, but then they give you the freedom to be the best. So, you have to really take it upon your own self to be really, really good at this game. And, sometimes it's a swing thought, sometimes it's just luck, and sometimes it's something else.
It's a mentally taxing sport, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Even when you perform, when we're kids and, I had a bad game and we got our brains beat out, it didn't say Jeff Stevens last place. It just said, the Bears or something.
Yeah.
That feels a lot better.
To win and lose as a team.
Yeah, you have to.
Specifically,
it's a lot less stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to wear it, and that comes part of with it. And so when you play great, it says your name. Whenever you play mediocre, it says your name. So you have to learn how to sort of deal with the expectations that come with a tournament or come with playing. And I think the more and more you do it, the easier it gets to realize that it doesn't matter.
I would say this because I don't know that all Americans know how golf scores work. Sometimes if you're last, it looks like you have the highest score and people's probably happy for you. So there's that.
Yeah, I've had a couple people come up to me over the years, especially in school.
Yeah.
They'd announce it over the intercom and be like, Cameron Jarvis had the lowest score of all players. And some people come to me like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Sure, that's got to be humiliating.
I can't believe they would say that about you on there. That just got to feel horrible.
Billy didn't score any points.
I've had the opposite experience a few times. I hit up there in the 90s, and so I was like, damn, you keep going, you crack 100.
Great job. Yeah.
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 Well, there's that.
There is that.
Yeah.
It's a weird game.
While we're on sports, do you mind if I make an apology?
No, absolutely.
I don't know exactly when this is going to air, but I owe an apology, and I brought something to say sorry because right now the Buffalo Bills are 3-0.
Wow.
They are.
And I was crushing them. I was so worried that this was going to be a terrible year.
Hold on. I think we probably have a moment to cut back to that if you want to play. Just wind that back about some of the awful things he said. Continue.
a real fear the Bills will be terrible. Genuinely terrible.
Really?
They've lost Poyer and Hyde, their secondary, that's safeties that have both been there forever, and they're really, really good players. Both gone to free agency.
Oh, boy.
The defensive line really never has been able to get to the quarterback very well. Let's go offense for a minute, okay? We can't run the ball. We don't try to run the ball. We don't know how to run the ball. And when we do, we fumble the ball. So I don't have much faith in the running game. Allen's great, but even he will give you 2 or 3 games a year where he's probably going to cost you the game with turnovers. The Bills are in trouble.
Yeah.
I would suggest selling your house and betting everything you have on the under on the Bills line. Now, could that be more unbiased? Josh Allen under new offensive coordinator Joe Brady. He was inserted last year. They look phenomenal. He looks like the MVP of the league. They're 3-0. They look like a totally different team. They lost players and got addition through subtraction has occurred.
Yeah.
I want to say Joshua Patrick Allen. I am a fan. I'm very, very sorry for being very wrong about the 2024-25 season.
Yeah, so wrong.
Well, it's early.
I couldn't have been more wrong.
I think if I remember right, you encourage people to mortgage their homes to bet against them. They were guaranteed to win.
Now, I don't know if I did or not. Did I?
Yes, we said, don't take this advice or do not go out and bet. You said this is a lock.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
This is our year.
Yeah, absolutely. Live in it for sure. It's not the Browns. It's not the Browns' year.
It's not the Bengals.
No, it's definitely not the Bengals.
I knew that, though.
Yeah, someone sent me a message.
Did they lose last night?
Yes, to the Commanders.
No. 0-3.
The Commanders.
Hot start.
Okay, let's get back to business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry about that. I just felt like I needed to get that off my chest.
I'm glad you did. We all feel better. I know Cameron had talked about it earlier.
Cameron, if you've observed Village Caregiving throughout the summer, what do you think is the most – I'm a new employee. I come to work at Village Caregiving. You got one piece of advice you can give me. Hey, in order to come to this company and be successful, blank.
This is a great question.
Oh, boy. No extra points awarded, but continue.
Wow. If that was your question, I would have said it was a great question, too. To come here and be successful, you need to be open to experiences, and you need to be able to have a conversation with anyone and everyone and sit in and try to immerse yourself into their environment. I think I learned the most going around and shadowing everyone. I think you can get really into one role in a different place. But here, it's not that you're necessarily asked to do different things. It's that if you take it upon yourself to put yourself in a new place and to visit with new people, you're going to get something out of it. Everyone here has something to offer. And I've learned so much just from going to office or person to person. So I would say just sit back and try to learn the company and try to learn the culture and try to learn the people. And in doing that, you're going to learn how to do your job.
Cool. Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cameron, we had asked you to rank those at the home office from first to last in job performance, and you had created a list. Did you want to? Yeah. Did you want to do that now?
This did not happen.
Well, you're right, and I found myself, I was doing interviews this morning, hiring for, I won't say exactly what position because this will get seen, but what I found myself telling this person was, we're talking about, this was actually their question at the end of the interview. What need to do to be successful there? And I was like, well, you're going to have to do your work, right? That's just that. We're going to have to have a work ethic. Other than that, I want you to be really friendly to everybody. And I want, number 3 is to be a teammate to everybody. Mm-hmm. And what that looks like is nobody's too good to do any job. How many times have we sat in the conference room and I'm the CEO, I'll lick envelopes for 2 hours with everybody else too. I don't look at some hierarchy and think, well, that's not for me. That's not our attitude. So when you get finished with your work, if you've got time left over, that's looking at a teammate and saying, hey, can I pitch in here and help you? Not like, ooh, I'm done, thank God. Right? So it's really, it's the simplest stuff ever. Work hard and get your stuff done. Be nice to people and be a good teammate.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same exact answer that I just heard, right? Mm-hmm. What about this? This is my favorite question to ask, probably because I think about it for myself so much, so I'm projecting. But what is something that you're working to change about yourself right now to continue your own path of growth and development? Or something that your mind gravitates toward a lot?
No, I think about this a lot. There's a core list that I always have, be a good person, blah, blah, blah. But every day right now, I'm trying to be better about being me unabashedly all of the time and not focusing on listening to the voices that exist, outside of my own. I think it's very easy in life to try to get caught up in asking for advice or asking for input on how I can be better. And sometimes it's warranted and you should. And I think it's always great to listen to critique. But I think sometimes it's also important to just listen to yourself. And sometimes I get away from that, especially in golf. And I try to go down rabbit holes that others have had success in. And I tend to steer away from what has given me success, which is being hardworking, which is being creative, which is not looking the same as everyone else. And so I try to go back to being just me and being happy-go-lucky at times and being earnest and being compassionate and being kind to everyone. And whenever I do that, I'm happier, those around me seem happier, and I can get the most out of myself. So I try every day just to kind of look in the mirror and, realize that I'm enough. I don't need to be this or that.
Yeah. Can you believe he's 20 years old? Mm-mm. Were you thinking stuff like that at that age?
Oh, no.
It's amazing. And you've always been like this. So I'm Cameron's stepdad. We met when he was 12.
Yep.
He was like this when he was 12. He's an incredible person.
I saw wedding pictures.
Yeah.
Cute as all get out, by the way.
Fat.
At our wedding, when you were 13. I forget, but either way, not old.
Yeah.
He just stands up and makes an impromptu speech at that age, and it's like the best thing I ever heard. When my dad passed away, he spoke, gave a eulogy. It might literally be the best thing I've ever heard. I don't even know where that came from exactly, but it's amazing. And your answer is also dead right. You're talking about authenticity in who you are and understanding your purpose and what you want out of life. Well, you're right. That authenticity, you said that you find other people seem to like you more, are happier with you, and you're happier. Yeah, you're more authentic. That's what people are going to gravitate towards, and that's like the charisma that you have naturally. So they like you more, but then the best part of that is whenever you are finding your own purpose and your values instead of letting your parents tell you what they are, or school tell you what they are, or society tell you what you should think is important, and you really focus in on what do I want, that's how you actually have fulfillment. Because that's the whole thing of how people get something in life. They always thought they wanted it, and they're still not happy. It's because it's not what you actually wanted. It's what other people told you you wanted, and then you got it, and you're like, well, this isn't that great. So you've already figured this out, sounds like, and you're 20. I'm so impressed with you all the time.
Well, thanks. I wasn't trying to figure anything out, but appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. I love you.
Love you too.
Done being mushy.
They had the cameras had died like 4 minutes, so I feel really awful. Could we?
We can't say all that again.
I'm kidding. I'm glad I could be here to be a part of this. I've texted my dad during this, told him I loved him. It's a long story. Anyways, Cameron, occasionally here on the podcast, Jeff has this scenario where he has these thoughts that enter into his brain. Okay. And, most people would just process those thoughts and move on. Jeff we don't know why, but we may get the answer here later, has decided those thoughts need to live somewhere else. And that's here in the fishbowl. And I talked to Jeff about the fishbowl, and I said, do you think Cameron could handle the fishbowl by himself? And Jeff said, I don't. I said, but he could do so many things, Jeff. And he said, no. I'm out of concern. I'm not certain that he could. He needs someone, maybe it's a little bit more life experience. Maybe what some people would call a super fan of the podcast. And I said, well, Jeff, where would we find this person? So we searched high and low. We circled the globe. But according to the statistics that our media team gave us, the super fan for this podcast resides in Ashland, Kentucky. Can you believe that?
I can, actually.
You can?
Yes.
Jeff, I can't keep the viewers waiting any longer. By happenstance, we were able somehow to generate the money to make this happen. We flew our super fan in all the way from Ashland, Kentucky. Who do we have in the studio audience with us today?
Well, how many times on this podcast have I told a story about or asked a question to? Mom, sorry if I accidentally got that wrong, something like that, right? Mm-hmm. My mom's in the studio today.
Joe Dunlap is here?
She is. Come on up, Mom.
Oh, what a huge day. This is something that we have waited for and talked about.
You're going to have to share a mic there, right?
That's
or are we going
right.
to pop another one up? Just share it, but really eat that thing when you're talking. Get up, or we'll have audio problems since we're sharing. Mom, thanks for coming on. Thanks for always giving me advice about the podcast and life in general and, raising me.
You're welcome.
I hope, yeah, thank you. I hope I've made you proud.
Very, very proud.
Now, let me ask this. Do you really watch the podcast?
Every single episode.
Every episode?
On Friday. That's all I can think about. I've got to watch the podcast immediately.
She's being serious, man. That's how I know if, there's been a glitch and we haven't gone live yet because she's like, it's noon.
Jeff, we have to do a better job.
Is that even possible?
Yeah, she is structuring her Fridays around this.
Mom, talk about how much...
It's sad, isn't it?
Talk about how much you love Aaron as a host of this show. I mean...
Oh, let me make sure the batteries are charged. Are we good?
You want this for posterity, right? Well, to start out, I was a former employee of Village Caregiving, and
that's right.
Aaron was one of the first ones that I worked with behind Ben.
Yeah.
So I've known Aaron a long time. He's a little cutie pie.
Oh, come on now. Come on. We can stay there for a little while.
She's been a fan since day one meeting you, man. Back in your nursing days together in Ashland.
That's right.
Yes. You're a great host. I love your humor.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way you dish it out to Jeff.
He needs it. He needs that. He does.
He does need that sometimes.
Yeah. What do you think, Cam? You think I need that?
No, absolutely not.
Oh!
My grandson lies sometimes.
Well,
all right, you can dive in there now, unless you have any other.
Well, before we go any further, I do seriously want
I tried to get him back in the fishbowl before he starts asking my mother for the most embarrassing stories of my childhood.
No, those.
I took a shot.
Yeah. Let me see what's here in the fishbowl. Fishbowl. Says Jeff wrote these. What would you think is the most embarrassing thing that Jeff Stevens ever done as a child? I'm just kidding. Does it not say that?
I really don't know what your answer to that would be. I'm actually curious if it's suitable for air. Don't tell everybody I poop my pants or something.
Oh.
No. To be very honest, nothing really comes to mind. You're a very hard person to embarrass. You're very self-confident, self-assured, and I don't know that I've ever really seen him too embarrassed.
Look at that.
That's pretty accurate.
That's a solid answer.
Given what happened, we'll talk about that on the next episode, but given what happened at Second City last week in Chicago, I got on stage, and let's just say I went all in.
Yeah.
All in.
Oh, what was that? Is that your parking meter again?
Ooh, I'm glad you reminded me.
It's been a minute.
Hold on a second. Let's see where I'm at on the meter.
It's got to be overdue.
No, 8 minutes left.
Look at this. We're in good shape.
All right.
Let me ask you two a question. All right. Why do you think that the beach is associated with bright electric neon colors?
I wasn't aware that it was.
Well, okay, hold on now.
Yeah, no. I get where you're going.
Good
with
answer.
Take the colors of the
Hold on, I'm
sports
sorry.
teams there, for example. Miami, it's like the neon glow and bright, those colors that are associated with Miami. When the San Diego Padres had their alternate uniform,
Yeah.
it was like a hot pink and neon green because it's just associated with the beach. I'm saying why?
Margaritaville. Yeah. Continue. Did you guys have?
It looks like I've stumped you.
Yeah.
I don't have a good answer for this.
It could have just been navy blue. That's the water's blue.
So when you see the beach, you're wondering, like, why does the welcome to the beach sign have the pinks and the
Yeah,
highlighted
man, and you
colors?
just swim trunks, like you ride
Yeah.
around bikes. If people are dressed up all bright colored clothes, you wouldn't see that in Kansas.
You think it? Okay, that's a
fair.
very
That's
specific
fair.
thing to
That
go
is
into
fair.
Kansas on.
Or Nebraska
Oh, you leave Nebraska alone.
or Oklahoma.
What is your deal with the center of the
What
country,
about
buddy?
North Dakota?
You could see
Neither
that.
North Dakota nor South would you
Oh,
see these things.
you could see
I don't
that.
think you'd see it in Idaho either.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just gonna start naming states.
Bright electric neon colors.
I guess
Do
it's-
you
it's
guys
vibrant,
genuinely not even
you
know what I'm talking about?
No, I know. I get what you're saying now. I guess. Maybe
Have I just
feel happy?
gone to the wrong beaches here?
I
I'm
just-
looking for help.
I hate
It's like
beaches.
those colors are
Well, see-
associated with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great
There you
answer.
go.
back there in
Miami
the back.
Vice type
Yeah.
colors. Get your head there.
No,
He
I
said,
can see like people on rollerblades, just really vibrant.
"Are you
bright
going to
colors.
Google on this?"
I'm searching colors associated with, we'll say Miami. Okay, wait for it. I'm just gonna. There's no curating has been done here.
Yeah.
This is
Look
what
at
you're
that.
getting.
My
It's a lot of
goodness.
bright. This is like the palette, like stuff like that.
Yeah, surely it's because of reflectiveness of the sun, right? Dark colors would absorb, light colors reflect.
Great answer, Aaron.
God, I'm a scientist.
Great answer.
Thank you.
It's the best thing you've said today.
Thank you.
What have you been going through pre-med with Brooke or something?
Yeah, yeah. I like this. Let's do another one.
Okay. That one didn't get us much
My
mileage.
knowledge is showing.
Hey, look, these are old. I'm going to tell you something. There's one in here that I don't even understand what I meant.
Yeah.
I hope it's not that one.
It could be this one. You sure it wasn't the beach one?
Good possibility.
Yeah, you know what's an interesting phrase? Fall asleep.
Yes, it is.
Aha. Now, see, that one has some meat on the bone.
I like this one. I do.
Well, I can understand that one. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of in half awake and half asleep,
Yeah.
and your mind is kind of just tumbling into sleep. So that's why I think it's falling asleep.
Yeah, it's kind
Set
of the
your
same line. Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
I wonder if it has anything to do. You know, so much of this is based in like historical things. Something happened at some point, and they're like, "Oh, that's why that happens," right? I wonder if it's because when people would be asleep in a chair, they would fall. Huh?
Hold on a second. I'm going to Google this one, too.
What if I am right? This is going to be maybe
That
the
would
best.
kind of be asleep falling, wouldn't it, though, instead
well-
of falling asleep?
Yeah.
Falling while asleep.
There's
Origins of the phrasal verb to fall asleep. Okay. First off, the first question is what about love? Why do you
would
fall in love?
Great question as well. We'll get there in a second.
I
read
begin.
that.
It's a
I've read that
connection.
before,
It's
but,
it's because your mind is cascading and right. The sensation of just you can't even help yourself anymore. I'm falling asleep. I'm falling in love. Is that? I don't know. That's the answer. I don't want to.
I know. Let's keep. I want to see if someone falls out of a chair in this story or not. I think I'm onto something.
It says that you can also fall silent. What do you think about that? You ever tried that before?
I can't. My parents have encouraged me.
Yeah.
You can't will your way there. I'll tell you that.
The use is attested in Middle English from 1393.
Okay, we're there.
The use draws on a verbal sense of fall, all the way back to the 1200s actually, of persons to pass, usually with suddenness, into, to, upon some specified condition, bodily or mental or some external condition. I don't think we're getting an answer on this. Sorry.
It's very disappointing. Well,
That means you're both not wrong and not right.
Exactly. The record has basically proved that I'm correct.
I did not say that.
That's how politics works,
think
buddy.
That's how the record worked.
Yep. If you can't prove it, it's true.
What if you just are being forgetful and they say, yeah, he fell asleep like in a ball game and you missed the ball?
Yeah.
Oh, good one here. Like
So-
he just
Stopped
doing
spaced.
it.
His
Yeah,
mind
spaced,
stopped working
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You fell asleep at the plate.
I think I was falling asleep one night and I thought about whether or not I felt like I was falling. And that's why that's in there.
You guys ever do the sudden jerk?
All the time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had the worst one ever on a plane the other day. I actually was in that, I was falling.
Yeah.
And I thought that I was spilling my drink on the tray table that was folded out. In the dream, I thought I was spilling it, and I was trying to catch her. This was not happening at all, but I did have a drink on the table. And I went to stop it from falling and actually caused it to fall because I was like, oh, I started like hitting the thing up in the air, and the guy behind sitting next to my right, he is cracking up at this, and he was like, oh, what kind of dream was that? I was like, whoa, you're not gonna believe me. I thought that was happening, but then I made it happen. Didn't turn out to be that good of a story, but anyway.
What if it was an air marshal and he zip tied you?
Like
We're not doing this all flight, buddy.
That'd have been bad.
Gosh.
But anyways, I was like, am I falling right now?
Yeah.
When you go to bed tonight, when you watch this, I want you to think about that. Whenever you start to close your eyes and you're breathing, you're slowing down. Do I feel like I'm falling? And only then will you really know the answer to the question.
Get this, though. Physically, though, you were rising.
What?
The airplane, it was going up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. See? I know.
Such deep thoughts.
Great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I was falling while I was being flown up.
I know. Crazy, right? Folks, I mean, these are the type of things.
No, we got to save some more. We've done enough. I don't even have enough to get through like a few months.
I could ask your mom every one of these.
She would give you a good answer to every one of them, too. I think you got the falling correct. That's got to be it.
Do you have a favorite podcast memory? It's okay if you don't. Is there one that sticks out in your head? Someone asked me the other day, a future guest asked me, like, what's your favorite podcast memory that we've had so far? I know. Yeah. I was like, well, I have to think back because there's some that's more memorable. Like there's some that, you know, if you like, what's the most emotional podcast? What was the funniest? Like you have to kind of qualify it. But is there a singular one that just goes?
Yeah, I think the Mother's Day one.
I
think that was probably the first time that Jeff really said a lot about me. It was wonderful.
Look at that.
Gosh, I love you. Thank you.
That was a
Love you
sweet one.
too.
I was hoping it was when Jeff said something bad and you remembered it.
He's on one today. I know.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been around a lot of people today. It's a thing.
I'll tell you something really nice. I'm going to say something nice about you. When you asked that question just now, like my first 3 or 4 little things that popped in are just things that you have come up with off the cuff that truly crack me up. So kudos.
Oh, thanks. I
There you go.
appreciate it. Yeah. It's been fun. It's been a good time, and today's kind of been like a family version for you, right?
Call the episodes like, what do you want to call it?
All in the family.
All in the family. Perfect.
That's
There you
a
go.
good one. Well, cool. Well, I hope that this was just a preview to things to come. I hope that you're able to come back down. We could do a full episode here, Jeff. I'm just planting seeds. I don't know. I'd have to talk to your manager, figure out talent and what the cost would be, but I think we could book you back in for sure.
Hi. Just say hi.
Very expensive.
We'll even it up. All right.
Jeff,
I'm out of questions.
I'm usually the one that closes this out. Anything you'd like to say?
Any final words of wisdom either one of you would like to leave us with? You don't have to.
No, don't feel pressure.
That's a super on-the-spot type question.
Yes, it sure is.
Yeah, it's awful.
Any words of wisdom?
Yeah, life-changing statements.
Sure.
Okay,
I'm going to
Cam.
go in here.
Turn
I'm
that
gonna-
mic towards you here.
I'm going to go all in.
Okay.
This is something that my mom taught me a long time ago. if you ever face uncertainty or doubt, recognize that that is an opportunity for success. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
I get nearly all of my good advice from Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like in the middle of like a bunch of cuss words. So
she
like
she
paraphrase to the max.
She's a great person with a great heart, but she's got a bit of a potty mouth.
Oh, horrendous. And she will proudly admit it. It's not like I'm saying things she's going to be embarrassed about. She'll be like,
no, she doesn't care.
Bleep, yeah.
She does not care.
Like, at all. Like, it was a problem for me as a child.
We can't keep going with this.
Oh, I mean, can I tell one story, though? Whenever, I think this was before we got married, she was teaching at Marshall, like an evening psychology class. Mm-hmm. And I just went to sit in the back because we were probably going somewhere right afterwards. I mean, she was cussing up a storm. I was like, I don't think you can even say that stuff in here.
Yeah.
But it really got through to those kids, and that they, without fail, was like one of their favorite professors of all time. Super relatable. Genuine person.
Yeah. Well, those high school kids have potty mouths.
A lot of good advice, including that little nugget of wisdom.
Yeah.
Mom, do you remember any good advice that you ever gave me?
Oh, that I ever gave you.
Let's think.
Well, I remember at a soccer game, it was on the travel team.
Yeah.
And we were up in Martinsburg, I believe. And Jeff's team won frequently. They were a very, very good travel team.
He talks about it a lot. Yep.
Yeah. But they came up against a team that was better than they were.
Oh,
and
no.
it was the first time that a team was really dominant over. I don't think they even scored at all. And they all came off to the sideline and jumped down in their chairs, and they were all just mad as could be, and everything. And I looked over at Jeff and I said, "Why are you upset?" He said, "We didn't win." And I said, "Well, did you play your best?" "Well, yeah." I said, "Then that's all you can do. You're always going to meet people in life that are better than you are. And no matter how good you are, it's like in the Olympics, you set a record at something and somebody comes along and breaks it. And just do the best you can, and then you can be happy about it."
That's funny because I talk about this all the time. Like, I'm a process guy. I don't really set goals or to try to win or have like, this is my marker of success. It's like, just do the best you can every day and let the chips fall where they may. There you go.
It has origins in Martinsburg.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. God. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Been wonderful.
Yeah, I got it right once in a while.
Yeah, look at that.
You got it right all the time.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in. Here, you need you need something to toast with here. I thought it was empty. It wasn't empty. Let's continue on here.
Cheers, fam.
Cheers.
All in the family. We made it. Thank you.